Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dutch Supercar Challenge. Introducing Bijtske Visser, the 16-year-old that rocked the Dutch Supercar Challenge. She really wants to make it big in the world of racing. And this weekend she was offered a seat in one of the GT cars in the Dutch Supercar Challenge, the Praga R4S. And that's a car that comes really close to the go-karts she is used to driving. During the start of the race, Niels Bauhaus took advantage of his pole position and he dominated the first half of the race. But the splitter breaks on the car and he drops back in the field. And then he's out of contention. Bijtske Visser surprises everybody by going very fast and doing consistent lap times. Meanwhile, championship leader Diederik Seithoff can't really stage an attack because of a flat tire. It seems that all competitors somehow suffer technical problems, even Bijtske Visser. She gets a drive-through penalty because her pit stop wasn't long enough. But in the last lap she made up for it and took the win in the last second, beating Roger Grauwels' fast Corvette. This must have been really exciting for her, so we asked, how did it go? Yeah, sure, I had a great start. I was second in the first lap and after the pit stops I took the lead. But I got a drive-through penalty and I had to do it all over again. And in the last lap I took the win. Fantastic. She can hardly believe what happened, but the regular guys are fast to admit that she's a real talent. Although you will have something to explain at home. Yeah, of course she's a real talent, but it's kind of embarrassing when you have to tell at home that when your daughter asks that it was a girl, 16 years old, that beat you. Not easy at all. She may be just 16 years old, but she's a wolf in sheep's clothing. She started racing go-karts when she was only 5, and this year she races in the highest international level. I started racing go-karts when I was 5 years old, first nationally and later internationally. And this year I drive the KZ1 championship and I usually end up in the top 5. But how do you get from racing go-karts into a 500 brake horsepower fast GT car? In go-karts I drive a Praga as well, and my sponsor thought it was a good idea to put me in a race car. And suddenly you were an idol to young fans, because there are many that share a dream, but only a few that reach the top. This time on Motors Television we look back at the Gamma Racing Days held at the TT circuit in Assen in the north of Holland. The stands were packed. 60,000 fans watched a spectacular mix of car and bike races. An event held for the 12th time this year. We speak with organizer Lee van Dam. I think this concept works very well in these troubled times. We don't ask admission, so it's a good and cheap family day out during the holidays. And it seems to work because the stands are packed. This year the event has a new sponsor, so everything is blue. I'm so proud. It's more than we expected for the first time. We have 50-60,000 spectators. It's incredible. More even than we dared to dream. And those 60,000 fans had a great motorsport day. Starting from pole position in the Dutch Supercar Challenge race is Bijtske Visser in the orange Praga R4S. I wonder myself if she can do the same trick again. Competition comes from the Corvette C5R, a legendary race car with lots of power, driven by Roger Grauwels. Rikke Bresch starts also in a Corvette from the second row. P4 is occupied by Cor Euser, driving the Marcos LM600. Pole position in Supersport 1 is for Bert van der Zweerde in the black BMW Silhouette. So it's time to go racing. Sunday's race in the GT and Supersport 1. Here they come down one of the last corners, Ramshoek, and then the GT chicane leading up to the start-finish straight, waiting of course for the lights to go out Rolling start as always in the Dutch Supercar Challenge. Bijtske Visser in the orange Praga in pole position. Can she take that to a first position going into the first corner? I wonder, because Roger Gauls is already with a Corvette on the inside. That's the best position to be. Oh, and he goes wide and she takes the lead again. Jackie Van End in the Blue Mondeo muscles his way to the lead in the Supersport 1 class. We're on board with Wolf Nathan. He's in third in the Porsche. And Roger Gauls has already lost 2 places to Rikke Bresch and Ferrari driver Jan Versluis. Here's Diederik Seithoff behind him. There was contact. And so he spun out of contention, has to do it all over again. We're on board with Diederik Seithoff in the Viper. There's the contact. And there goes Roger Gauls accelerating out of that slow corner. Now let's take a look. Bijtske Visser in the Praga is long gone. We're on board with Arie van der Hoek starting from the back of the grid because problems in Saturday's race. He has to do it all over again and he's on a mission. Bijtske Visser leading. Rikke Bresch in second place. In third Jan Versluis. In fourth Cor Ozer. In fifth Diederik Seithoff, leader in the championship. And in sixth is Alex van 't Hoff. And we're behind him in the Audi with Arie van der Hoek. Accelerating out, trying to find connection to the leaders. There's Diederik Seithoff. Oh, there's a challenge to Cor Ozer. Very fast part of the circuit here. And it all goes down to the chicane. Who's the one late breaker? And that's Diederik Seithoff. Cor Ozer, who is now in 5th place. 6th place, Alex van 't Hoff in the Mosler. And 7th, Arie van der Hoek in the Audi R8. Alex van 't Hoff takes 5th place. Good for him. Cor Ozer is now in 6th place. And he is liable to be the next victim of Arie van der Hoek if he can force his way past the Marcos. Cor Ozer is one of the drivers that can make his car very wide and defend his lines till the end. On board with Wolf Nathan, third in the Supersport 1, and he goes to second. Bert van der ZWEERDE is again the leader. You can see him disappearing there in the corner in the black BMW. Whoa! Wolf Nathan goes from second to 4th. There's Carlo Keijer in the Phantom. He's now in 3rd place. And problems for René Wijn in the Porsche. It looks like his race is over. Yeah, what happened is that yesterday we had a crash. We had some parts brought in from the south of Holland. We started, but it doesn't feel right, so we don't want to break any more than necessary, so that's why we abandoned this race. We had a good race, we had a good start. It was looking good, but it was not to be. Too bad. So that's one competitor less in the Supersport 1. It's Rikke Bresch still in 2nd place, Jan Versluis in 3rd. Diederik Seithoff is now in 4th place and he's under attack from the Mosler of Alex van 't Hoff. We're on board with Arie van der Hoek, still trying to find a way past the LM600. There's Diederik Seithoff, attack for 3rd place. No, that's not going to happen. Jan Versluis has learned a lot in the last couple of races and defends his lines till the bitter end. Diederik is looking for a way through. Lots of power, of course. American power in the Viper. Italian V8 in front of him. Oh, on the braking. Yeah, that's exactly where Diederik Seithoff is fast and Jan has still a lot to learn. Oh, Cor Ozer having a bit of a waggle there and Arie van der Hoek passes him in the chicane. Something must be wrong in the LM600 because that's not like Cor Ozer to give away his position like that. Artie van der Hoek looking for a next victim, and that should be Alex van der Hoff in the orange Mosler. That's the attack for 5th place. Getting closer and closer in the slower part of the track, where the Audi is very strong, under braking, accelerating out of slow corners, but then it's the Mosler territory on the straight, and he not only attacks Jan Versluis, he passes Jan Versluis on the Wienslang. And that's what you see in the Dutch Supercar Challenge, the various approaches, the various philosophies. You can either have a heavy car with lots of power, or you can choose to have a somewhat lighter car with less power but better under braking. And that's the two cars here, the two Audi and the Ferrari. Those two are the lighter cars, and of course the Viper and the Corvettes are the more heavy, more powerful cars. The battle between the Audi and the Ferrari now. Artie van der Hoek has been racing GT cars for a long time. Jan Versluis is in his first year in a Ferrari. Still lots to learn, but he's learning quickly. Oh, there's Artie on the inside, under braking. The Ferrari quicker and better, more stable. On board with Wolf Nathan, of course, the GT3 Cup Porsche. And the fight for second place, Carlo Cuyer takes it. He is now in second. Jackie van den Ende in the Mondeo is now in third, and Wolf Nathan in fourth. Back with second place, the fight for second place in GTs is Ricker Bresch in the Corvette and the Viper, Diederik Seithoff. Ricker Bresch learning quickly about the Corvette and be able to play with that. In the last couple of races, he's found some reliability as well, so he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. But here's accelerating out the two powerful cars. The power plants in these cars very different, of course, but with the same philosophy. A V8 against a very quick V10. And it's Diederik Seithoff who took the lead. No, not the lead, the second place, because we might even forget that she's out in front. But it's Bijtske Visser in the Praga. She's way out in front. Artie van der Hoek, there he goes, he's found a spot. Is there a counter-attack by Jan Versluis accelerating out with the Ferrari? There's Gorioza trying to take advantage of a little hesitation there, and the hesitation is there again, and Gorioza takes P6. After the break, we'll be back with more shenanigans from the Dutch Supercar Challenge. And will the 16-year-old Bijtske Visser do it again? We'll see after the break.
With so much racing going on in the world, you'd have to be a four-headed monster to keep up with it all. Luckily, we have that. Join Peter Keane, Bill Wood, Errol Tucker, and their guest driver analyst each week for an opinionated look at the news coming out of the racing world. Remember, it's GoRacingTV.com for all your racing and video needs.
Well, Greg Creamer, GoRacingTV.com has done it again. They've come up with reruns of the Viper Racing Series, which you and I are kind of interested in.
Very interested in it, folks. If you haven't seen this, tune in, because that racing is absolutely spectacular. These special spec cars that they've come up with, the performance level of these things, Tom, has been spectacular. The racing close, celebrity guest drivers of sorts that get in the mix and have some fun. And what it's actually turned into is an incredibly exciting series. In its debut year, you can revisit it right here at GoRacingTV.com.
And about the fifth best thing about the series is that Greg and I host it. We'll see you on GoRacingTV.com coming up this season.
Way down the list.
Way down the list.
Welcome back, you're watching the Dutch Supercar Challenge from the Gamma Racing days at the TT circuit in Assen. 16-year-old Bijtske Visser started her second race from pole position. And she took the lead in the first corner. Leader in the championship, Diederik Seithoff, starting from 6th place, trying to make up for a bad result on Saturday. Jackie van der Ende muscles his way to the lead in Supersport 1. But loses it later to Bert van der ZWEERDE. Diederik Seithoff picking off one after the other, and he's now in 3rd. He's very close to the number 2 in the race, and that's Rikke Bresch. Get set for an exciting finish in the Dutch Supercar Challenge. And here we are, Bijtske Visser way out in front. Diederik Seithoff is now in 2nd place. And Rikke Bresch in 3rd, but he's coming under the attention of Alex van 't Hoff in the Mosler. In 5th place, Artie van der Hoek. In 6th, Cor Euser. And there is Niels Bouwhuis. Remember him? He's driving the Monday morning Mosler. He was supposed to start from 7th place on the grid because of a broken splitter in Saturday's race. But he had to start from pit lane because he had a broken clutch. Now he's getting better and better, passes Cor Euser. He's now in 6th place. And the other Mosler is in a fight for P3. That's Rikke Bresch in the Corvette, the Mosler, Alex van 't Hoff. He was reeling in him, and he's now on the back bumper of the Corvette. American power in both of these cars. Mosler, oh, something wrong there because Rikke Bresch misses his braking point. Luckily there was an escape road, but Alex van 't Hoff is already there. And he takes 3rd place. So Alex van 't Hoff now in 3rd, Rikke Bresch in 4th. But only a few laps later, it's definitely over for Alex van 't Hoff. The car is overheating, and so is Alex's temper.
Ja, hij ging heel goed.
Well, was okay. Now the engine overheated, so it's for sale for a reasonable offer. Well, I wonder if it's for sale. They have quite a few cars at Madden Daring Racing, so he can pick and choose. Bijtske Visser is out.
De race begon super.
Yeah, the race started great. I had a lead of 15 seconds. And here on the straight, I heard something in the car that wasn't right. And I had to abandon. It's too bad. Well, anyway, she has more time to sign some autographs for the young fans. Back with the fight for 3rd place. Rikke Bresch under attack from Niels Bouwhuis in the Mosler. Car's running fine now. He really got by Artie van der Hoek really quick. Let's hope the car sticks together. In the pits, pit stops between 25th and 35th minute of the race. And that's Diederik Seithoff taking his regular pit stop. He's lucky because he has no result second, so he should be out of there really quick. And the same goes, of course, for Niels Bouwhuis, who has no result seconds because he had no results. So, what has that done to the race? Well, Diederik Seithoff was the leader and he keeps the lead. Denny van Dongen has taken over from Artie van der Hoek. He's now behind Jan Versluis again. Well, the car is anyway. Is he going to take as long as Artie did? Getting past the Ferrari. Denny van Dongen is a professional driver. And Jan Versluis, if you want to say it like that, is one of the gentleman drivers. Denny van Dongen lining up for the attack. And there it is. Fastest part of the track again. Ramshoek. That really separates the men from the boys, or the gentleman driver from professional race car drivers. In Supersport 1, Barry Maassen leads. Barry van Elk is now in this Phantom, and he's, well, spun the car in Assen. That's nothing new for Barry. Bert van der Zweerde is now in second place and he's lining up for an attack on Barry Maassen. There's Rudelay, fight for fourth place with Jackie van den. Oh, they touch! And that was completely unnecessary. Rudelay in the BMW is, well, not a championship contender, not a regular driver either, and it looks like his race is over on this one. No, he keeps it together. As a back marker, the RSR is a lap behind, and the fight is between Roger Grauwels and Denny van Dongen for fourth place in the GTs. Oh, that was really close. And you see the Corvette very good on the power, and under braking, Denny is very close again. Corvette accelerating out. There's no escape now. Denny keeps the car very close. Now he gets away from him on the straight. When he opens up, when he floors it, he gets away from the Audi. Now he's in a danger zone, because if he can creep up on the straight and position himself for an overtaking maneuver on the inside. Good defense. Good defense by Roger Grauwels. Again, oh, that's a bit of a brake test there. He forces the Audi to the outside. There's no room on the outside. And again. And this time, Denny reacts very good and avoids a collision. Now, it's not really fair to do that. But anyway, he has to keep the Audi behind him. Diederik Seithoff in first place. Takes his drive-through penalty. And that means that Niels Bauerhuis in the Monday Morning Mosler has a chance to win this one. I've never been so nervous. Usually everything breaks on this car, and now we have a chance to win. I'm gonna wait until he finishes. So fingers crossed, if the car holds together, they can win the first race. There's Niels Bauerhuis, and there's the checkered flag. They've done it! The first win for the Cambit Monday Morning Mosler. Yeah, I didn't have a clutch, so we had to start from pit lane, very last, and I thought, oh god, there we go again. And that's his dad. He's very happy as well, of course. I was unstoppable, and the team worked so hard to get this car in the condition that we could win this with. And I'm so happy that I can give this to the team. Also for my teammate Milko Tas, next time you will be there. So, second place for championship leader Diederik Seithoff. In third place, Rikke Bresch. Roger Grauwels ends up in fourth, Denny van Dongen and Arnie van der Hoek in fifth, and Cor Euser in sixth. Here's the championship. Roger Grauwels now in second place, Cor Euser in third, Arnie van der Hoek now in fourth place. In Super Sport 1, there was an easy victory for Bert van der Zweerde. Yeah, super. We had some changes on the car that really worked out well. I was leading from the start. I got away from the rest. Never to be seen again. Basically, it was a very lonely race. I'm very happy. So there he is, Bert van der Zweerde taking victory again in the black BMW. In second place, Carlo Kuijer and Barry van Elk. Weren't they the car that spun?
Nou ja, ik maakte daar een foutje.
Well, yeah, I made a mistake there, and I was trying to steer, but my knees hit the steering wheel. I'm a bit cramped in there, but it worked out fine. The guys in front made a mistake, and we ended up in second.
Ja, die mag wel blijven voor mij.
He can stay. I'm very happy. Let him drive in my car. So, Bert van der ZWEERDE takes the win, but we're missing number 2 in the championship. Wolf Nathan, he had to abandon the race. So no points for him, and that really hurts him in the championship because now under attack from Jackie van der Ende. After the break, we'll be back with the Super Sport 2 and Sports Division.
Club and amateur racer. Here at GoRacingTV, we salute you. And we want to give you all the tools and info to compete with the best. Find out how to do it all from your own garage by watching our club racer and autocrosser shows. GoRacingTV.com, supplying all your video racing needs.
Welcome back, you're watching the Dutch Supercar Challenge. We're going to see the Super Sport 2 and Sports Division again at the Gamma Racing Days held at the TT circuit in Assen in the north of Holland. Organizer Lee van Dam. It's a unique concept. A mix of cars, bike and go-kart races. A full program complete with demos, a great day for the whole family and of course free admission. Next we will show you the Super Sport 2 and Sports Division of the Dutch Supercar Challenge, and nowhere you can get as close and personal with the cars and drivers as on the DSC paddock. And that's a strong point of the Dutch Supercar Challenge. Friendly on the paddock, fierce battles on the track. And they don't take any prisoners.
Nee, het gaat zeker niet langzaam.
No, you can say that again. We are faster than the Clio Cup cars. People compare our cars all the time. But we lap Assen track at 156 with a top speed of 220 and 230 k's an hour. And that's really scary in a Clio.
En topslijden van 220, 230. Ja, en dat is met zo'n Clio best wel hard.
Teammate Frank Biederhoff says the Dutch Supercar Challenge travels abroad as well as at home. Germany, Belgium, Great Britain, lots of different tracks. Also the hospitality is great and it's good PR if you let your sponsor invite his guests for a day at the track.
Voor je sponsors. En dat is natuurlijk heel belangrijk dat we zoals vandaag ook weer hebben een goede sponsor die zijn klanten meeneemt. En daar is het heel belangrijk voor. De Supercar Challenge is daar uitermate geschikt voor.
Alright, enough blah blah, let's go racing. As always, 2 races per weekend in the Dutch Supercar Challenge, and Saturday's Supersport 2 race saw a victory for the Lotus team. Jan van der Kooi took the win in his Exige.
Ja, was goed. We hebben een goede start.
Yeah, had a good start. Luc de Kok missed a gear and he got stuck behind the BMW. So we were third. And half a lap later we were second, and the next lap we were leading. Well, we built on that, although the safety car situation didn't work out well for us. But it did for my teammate, so he won in Sports Division, and all in all, it was a fantastic race for us. So he starts ahead of current leaders in Supersport 2, the Monster Brothers. This time Robin drives solo in the Seat Supercopa. In the Sports Division, Clio driver Nico Bain has ended up on the podium. But again, victory for the Lotus team. Championship leader Art Bosman is in a class of his own.
Ja, wat een race gisteren weer. Het is echt helemaal te gek.
Yeah, what a race. I had to start in the T car, but at the pit stops I was third already. And then the result seconds really hurt us. We had the Van Vliet brothers in the BMW in front of us, but they had a puncture, so it all came our way. It was really close on the line. 0.3 seconds to the second car. Oh wow, what a race this was.
En ik geloof op 0,3 seconden ging ik over de finish heen op nummer 2. En daar zat weer 0,6 seconden of zo achter nummer 3. Dus ja, het was echt een spannende race tot op het einde toe. En dat is eigenlijk ook hoe het racen moet zijn.
So let's go racing. Supersport 2 and Sports Division Round 7 at the TT circuit in Assen. And it's all blue in the stands and all blue on Motors Television. Here we are on board with Koen Bogaerts in the BMW 1 Series. He started from the back of the grid because of problems in Saturday's race. He's second in the championship. Jan van der Kooi starting from pole position. And championship leader Robin Monster in the Seat, but he has a bad start. He's already under attack from Peter van Zoelen. We're on board with Roger Grauwels in the Clio. He was behind Art Bosman in the XC. Lots of smoke there. Leon Zappai misses his braking point. We're on board with Roger Grauwels. That's John van der Voort there in the BMW. So, second place for the Seat Leon Supercopa. Somebody going wide there. Koen Bogaerts making up places as he goes along, turning onto the long straight here in Assen. 3 wide there, and he takes it before, and there's Marcel Norbert. His Seat Leon Supercopa parked in the gravel trap. We're on board with Nico van Vliet, and let's see what happened. There's the smoke from the beginning. There's Leon Zappai going wide, and he comes back onto the track. There's Marcel Norbert as well, and they collide. Marcel Norbert takes out the Van Vliet brothers. We were on the inside of the first corner, and some half-wit comes from the outside and takes me out. Again, end of the race for us. Things like this really take the fun out of racing.
Het moet wel leuk blijven, maar de moed zat in je schoen op deze manier.
Marcel Norbert, I have no idea what happened. I saw a big pile-up at the end of the straight. I steered around it and suddenly I hit a yellow E-Tech BMW. It all happened in a flash. I have still no idea what happened. Leading Jan van der Kooi in second place, Robin Monster. Daan Meijer in the Porsche in third. Then it's Luc de Kok in the 211, and in fourth place, or in fifth place rather, it's Peter van Zoelen in the BMW. We're on board with Koen Bogaerts. Takes one place there off of the Baal brothers. Daan Meijer and Peter van Zoelen attacks. He's already very close to the 211. Now on the braking fast part of the circuit. Going to the chicane. It should be Luc de Kok because he's in the right position. It still is. Luc de Kok is there. Still followed by Peter van Zoelen. But Van Zoelen could do some damage there on the straight. Roger Grauwels attacking one of the Supersport 2 cars. That's a Sports Division car attacking a Supersport 2 car and taking his position. Meanwhile, in Supersport 2, Daan Meijer is suffering in the Porsche. He's been passed by the 211 of Luc de Kok, and he's now under attack from Peter van Zoelen. And he drops back even more. Well, he's out of it. Koen Bogaerts is definitely not out of it, making up places as he goes along. And Ronald Verloon in the baby blue BMW has passed Daan Meijer, who is definitely in trouble. As Bob Herber in the Seeker, but Daan Meijer defending his place. Koen Bogaerts waits and sees what happens, and there he is on the inside taking the Seeker. No, Seeker very low of course, and a dangerous car to drive because people can't see him. Already some wiggling going. Oh, that's Marcel Norbert there. He's trying to bring his stricken ZWEERDE home. Koen Bogaerts. Yeah, it's really fast there. Ramshoek again. A little bit of a lift because he was in a overtaking maneuver. There's Peter van Zoelen in the chicane. Now Luc de Kock is on the outside. Defends his place. Very good. Koen Bogaerts behind Daan Meijer, and he's holding him up. Well, his Porsche is not all that well, and basically I think you should give some room for Koen Bogaerts, but it's of course it's a fight for position. But the Porsche is not very well. An ill-sounding Porsche. Koen Bogaerts has passed him. And there's Peter van Zoelen, and he's managed to find a way past Luc de Kock. There's Ronald Verloon, a bit of a wiggle there. And that's Koen Bogaerts, Daan Meijer, and the Seeker of Bob Herber. On board with Koen Bogaerts. Lining up for an overtaking maneuver on Ronald van Loon, the Ubron BMW. Well, that looked very easy. Very fast, this 3.2 litre BMW 1 Series. Bit of a wiggle there, going through the slow corners. So exciting racing in the Dutch Supercar Challenge, and we have lots more for you. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with the rest of this exciting Supersport 2 and Division Sports race.
Hi there, I'm Tom Natchu, and this is Greg Creamer. We're called the old bastards of racing in many circles. You know, I guess we met back in the late 1980s.
Easy. It had to be at least that far back. Glory day of some racing, too.
Oh, absolutely. Trans Am was a part of the picture, and actually I learned to do pro announcing from this man around the Trans Am Championship. Oh, that is a long time ago.
A very long time ago, but I'll tell you what, you take a look at Trans Am racing in the early 90s in particular, the names that were running at that time. But the other side of the story was World Challenge was really starting to come alive at that point. And the names in that, there were sometimes you'd look at the two rosters and go, you know, I'm not sure which one is the most talent. Some amazing stuff from those decades past. And of course, a lot of those drivers also doubling up, running amateur racing in the runoffs. And it was spectacular stuff.
Now, GoRacingTV has got all of that action, Trans Am World Challenge, and even some runoff material, all coming up over the next season. That's going to be something to watch.
I know, to be able to relive those 2 decades of motorsports from the Sports Car Club of America's Pro Racing Department, Trans Am World Challenge, and then you include the National Amateur Championships, the runoff, the intense battles that unfolded there. It simply doesn't get any better than that, and it lives again right here on GoRacingTV.com.
Because I need to spend more time in front of my computer.
Welcome back, you're watching the Dutch Supercar Challenge, Supersport 2 and Sports Division. A quick look back, full stands for the Gamma Racing Days. Robin Monster starting from 2nd place but leading the championship. Jan van der Kooi, good start from pole position, lots of smoke there, 2 cars out. And we follow the race that Koen Bogaerts had through the field. Nico van Vliet, one of the victims. Same goes for Marcel Norbert, who was out early. Jan van der Kooi still leading in the Lotus Exige GT3. Looks to be a good weekend for the Lotus team. In second place, Robin Monster. In third place, Peter van Zoelen has a back marker there. Robin Monster all on the straight. The BMW is just a lot faster than the Seat. Strong point of the Seat, of course, is in road handling and cornering. And where the circuit gets curvy, that's where the Seat comes in his own right. There he is, getting closer to the BMW again, but now the straight is coming. Going through the fast part of the track again. Good fight there between these two Mondeos. Fight for position, of course. But it's over for Nick Aerts, and his car is brought in. That's Ronald van Loon, Daan Meijer in the Porsche, and of course the Seeker of Bob Herber. 3 cars fighting for P5 in the race. Ronald van Loon 5th, Daan Meijer 6th, and Bob Herber trying to take that place from him, and there's a little nudge, and Daan Meijer is off onto the wet grass and spins out backwards. Luckily he doesn't spin out back on the track, and here you see it again. What happened was that Daan Meijer just didn't see the Seeker. Seeker definitely below the hip line of the Porsche, so very hard to see. Small mirrors, of course, as well. Well, that's what happened. That's all she wrote for now for Daan Meijer, who doesn't have a good race anyway. Koen Bogaert behind the Porsche of Daan Meijer again. He's a lap behind now, and he's really defending his place. There's some blue flags been waved. Well, there should be anyway, but they're not. So that really hurts Koen Bogaert. That's 5th place. Still Ronald van Loon doing very well in this race here in Assen. And you see he can accelerate away from the Seeker, but under braking and the curvy bit, that's where the Seeker comes into its own. He attacks on the inside. Bob Herber. Yeah, Ronald van Loon knew he was there, so he gave him a room, let him live, and Bob Herber takes 5th place. That's the leader in sports division, Art Bosman. Who else? In 3rd place, Roger Grauwels. At least that's where he wants to be. That's Erik van der Munkhoff, who takes 3rd. So Roger Grauwels is now in 4th. And in 2nd place is the black BMW E36 of Richard van der Bos, who had a bad crash on Saturday, but now he's in 2nd place. Good fight. A Clio and a Focus. Pit stops. We have leader in. That's Jan van der Kooi. Pit stops, of course, in between the 25th and 35th minute of the race. Also in Supersport 2 and Sports Division. Robin Monster is in. There's not much he can do right now, but sit and wait until his time is over. Luckily, has less result seconds than the others, so really should be able to take an advantage there. Peter van Zoelen 20, Jan van der Kooi 20, and Robin Monster only 10. Koen Bogaert en Mark van der Aa 0, but he is still far behind. And John van der Voort and André de Vries also to be reckoned with. Robin Monster going out again. He's now in the lead. Peter van Zoelen in 2nd place. And Jan van der Kooi in 3rd. And that's after the pit stops. That's Herbert Bonder and André de Vries. Herbert Bonder in the Seeker, André de Vries in the white GTR. That's the fight for 4th place. Oh, Bonder making a big mistake there. Roger Grauwels passing him. Nearly half the field passing him. And I think that regular driver Bob Herber will be very happy with that. Not. He went out on cold tyres anyway. Well, it was gone before he knew it. Robin Monster, oh, that's a lady driver there. Kim Truije gets it very, very wrong there. And somebody else going off as well, that's Jan van der Kooi. And of course the 211 of Luc de Kock. I think there should be, there are probably some fluids there that shouldn't be there. Robin Monster is fine, Peter van Zoelen fine, but then Jan van der Kooi and Luc de Kock spin out of the chicane. Fight between these two. Robin Monster still able to keep the BMW behind him. Peter van Zoelen has to take a drive-through penalty. He already knows that, so he lets the Seat go. Goes in for his drive-through penalty, and it looks like Robin Monster is on his way to win the race. And he might be able to keep second place, because this is the fight for third place. Mark van der Houw took over from Koen Bogaerts, and André de Vries who took over from Jan van der Voort. And that's André de Vries using his home ground knowledge.
Auto was heel moeilijk vandaag.
Koen Bogaerts in the pit. Handling was not good today. We started from the back and I lost a lot of time behind the Maya Porsche, who was a lap behind.
Ik had eigenlijk die Porsche van Meijer te pakken en die ligt de ronde achter en die blijft verdedigen.
But he kept defending his position. Finally, I got by him, but the leading group was long gone.
Gelukkig heeft het team hem naar achter geroepen. Na die ronde 8 kon ik er voorbij, maar ja, toen was alle aansluiting al weg.
André de Vries had just got a stop and go, so the Monsters can win again, but we will be able to take 12 points for fourth place anyway. That's good for the championship. Indeed, there's a drive-through penalty, André de Vries. So you might be confused, but Robin Monster is still leading. In second place now, Jan van der Kooi, and in third, Peter van Zoelen. Was really putting the pressure on. Jan van der Kooi defending his position. Cleverly placing back markers between him and Peter van Zoelen. But suddenly something's wrong. Something's very wrong, and it's the end of the race.
Ja, we hadden een goede start.
Jan van der Kooi says we had a good race. It was all according to plan, but I spun on some sand and I lost the connection. Later on I fought for first place and second place. And in the last lap it all came to a grinding halt because we miscalculated the fuel. And that was a stupid mistake. We could have been second and now we have nothing.
Ja, stom, komt duur te staan, jammer. Anders hadden we zeker een tweede plek vast kunnen houden.
So the win goes to Robin Monster. Second place Peter van Zoelen, he's on the podium. Congratulations from Peter to Robin.
Super race, super race.
Yeah, great race. I had a good fight with Peter van Zoelen, who was very fast, but I managed to keep him behind me. I hope we have some nice pictures for the race fans anyway. So there he is, Robin Monster.
Ja, geweldige race natuurlijk.
Peter van Zoelen says, I loved this race. It was too bad for the drive-through penalty. We don't seem to be able to make a decent pit stop anymore. So I know we could have won this one. Anyway, we're still in the championship and they haven't seen the last of me.
Ze zijn nog niet van mij af. Alsjeblieft.
So, Robin Monster wins it in front of Peter van Zoelen, Koen Bogaerts and Mark van der Houw in third place. Championship looks like this. Robin and Ferry Monster still leading. Quite a bit of an advantage over Koen Bogaerts and Mark van der Houw. And a look at the sports division. It was Richard van der Bos who won it in the JR Motorsport BMW E36. And Eric van der Monkhoff was very happy with second place.
Eindelijk hè, gisteren motor.
Yesterday we broke a motor, today with a new one we score second. What else can you wish for?
Hartstikke lekker. Keihard, dank je.
Ongelooflijk.
I had to be stationary for 2 minutes 20, so I thought 4 or 5th would be the best we could get. And we're speaking with Art Bosman here. I am so happy. I must be around 30 points ahead of everyone. It was a great race, thank you.
Fantastisch, dankjewel.
Nou, het ging eigenlijk wel hartstikke goed.
Well, basically, we had a good race. I had some problems in the beginning, but we made up 2 places. So we were 4th or 5th at that point. I have no idea where I ended up 4th maybe 3, but we'll see. It has been a great weekend for me anyway.
Voor mij het weekend eigenlijk niet meer stuk.
So, Richard van der Bos, he takes the win. Eric van der Munkhoff in 2nd place, again scores well. Art Bosman is 3rd and Nico Bain was 4th. Art Bosman is way out in front of the championship. Guillaume Schultz in 2nd place and Rob Niemann in 3rd. So that's it from us from the Dutch Supercar Challenge on Motors Television. We'll be back, of course, with more exciting racing next time.